Good morning, this is Lucinda from Showbiz Software. Thank you very much for joining us for the second of our early adopter webinars. The subject of today's webinar is contacts and companies. I appreciate your time joining us on this webinar. You should be able to see the PowerPoint screen, so we'll go to the next screen on that one. So first of all, could everyone make sure that their either phones or microphones are on mute? I've had some issues with some feedback regarding that. If you've got any questions during the webinar, please use the chat option at the bottom of your GoToMeeting screen. So you can either type them during the webinar when you think of them, or you can type them at the end. We'll give you some time at the end to type them, and then I can answer any questions that you've got. The recording will be available later. I will send a link to everyone so you can see the webinar if you want to rewatch it. As I've mentioned, today's webinar is regarding companies and contacts. We've got the creating your schedule next week, and then we've got the other ones for the next 6 weeks. So contacts, today's is Contacts Manager. So some of the features and benefits of that are it's a simple ordering search on columns. You can find exactly the information that you need. You've got the option to create your own rows and column views. These can be either by yourself or by your colleagues as well. You can set that all up within the system. You've also got the option to tick records and quickly process either single or multiple communication types, either emails, writing a letter, putting a message to them, anything like that. You've got consistent module icons on the left-hand menu screen, and then you've also got the sales profiles, so you know which contact has bought a certain thing like tickets or trade stands, so you can quickly find all the people at your trade stands, and if you need to, send them all an email. You can catch a lot of information that you need for show specific data via roles and categories. So it's a real quick and easy way to build up a lot of your own information within the system, so you know exactly which contact has what. You've got a lot of information for each contact. It's very quick and easy to use. You can process a lot of data very quickly, very simply. You've got key performance indicators on the dashboards as well, so you can see exactly what's going on in real time. So you can see the amount of memberships you've sold, everything like that, very quick and easy. I'll go through the dashboards at a later date, but we'll quickly show you them in a minute on the webinar. So let's have a look at the system. Let me just change screens. I'll just change to the other monitor. So you should be able to see this is the utility screen within the system. So what we can do, we can go along the top and we can see the contacts. So go to the Contacts Manager. As you can see along the top, each of them has a different name. So you can see this one is just the Contacts Manager. You've also got Companies Manager for this one. So I've opened them in different tabs along the top. You can right click and then duplicate them. So if you want to have, say, 2 of the companies open, you can. But the system's very easy to use. You can have the different tabs open that you need to be able to, and then able to close a screen and then reopen it. You can just chop and change between the different tabs, and the system tells you exactly where you are within the system on each of the tabs, so you never get lost. So as you can see, this is a Contacts Manager. You can see that all the manager screens are this type of grid view. All the grids are very easy and accessible to search, either by the search boxes, or you can change the order that items are sorted in. You can search the different addresses. And I mentioned earlier, these are the sales profiles. So you can see these people have purchased items through the shop. So for Rose Thomas, she has got entries and she's also got a trade stand. Within the profiles, you can then filter on which ones you want to show. So if you just want to show the sponsorships, you can. Just the tickets, you can also do that. So if someone's got tickets and sponsorships, or if you just want tickets, you can. So you can very quickly find all the people that have got tickets, say for last year's show, and then you can send out a very quick email saying, would you like to come along to this year's show, very simply. And the way to do that is we all can go to the select all, and then we can go to the action cog, and this is where you can send the different communication types. You got send if you want to send a message, an email, a letter, a note, or add a task to these people. So if you want to just send an email, you can select send email. You can then see what's going to happen, press yes if you want to continue, if not press no, and you just get taken back to the manager screen. So in this case we want to, I've got the email, we can either use a blank email, or you can also have a template one, so you can have a specific ones ready set up. So in this case we just use a blank one, but we've also got the option to add images into it. So if you drop the box down, or the arrow down, you can then add in images into the email as well if you want to. So if you want to then add the image, you can then add the image into it. So you can send email message to remind you about tickets. And you can send the subject of tickets, and then you can press send, and that email, the system then says these people have had the email sent to them. So if you go and have a look at Guy Atherton's account, we can then have a look in the interactions and see the email has been sent, so you can then click on it, and then that's the email that's gone out, so you can see exactly what's happened. You can't actually edit these emails because they've already gone out, so the system locks it down, so you can just see what email's been sent, but you can't then change them at all. So this is the interactions tab within all of the contact records. You can see, and if they've got more or less, so at the minute you can see if they've got other interactions, so you can see all the different interactions when anything's been changed on a record. You can see that here as well. So you can see it, the mailing name's been changed and everything, so you've got a full audit history of this record. So it's quick and easy to see. On the main contact screen, you've got the personal details of each person. So you can, if you want to use the titles, you can. You've got the forename, surname, all of the personal information on the left-hand side. You've also got the option to, if you want to archive them, you can. You can set these options up in the utilities. You can set the different reasons up. And you've also got a problem button, so you can then type in if you've got an issue with this contact. You can then search on that on the main search screen. So all this information is useful. You can always use that at any point you need it. You've also got the communications. So this is where you set up all your emails. So you've got different options, different types of emails, different types of social media, and that's all in there for you. You've also got the options to set them as preferred communication types and whether they're opted in and opted out for that specific communication type. You've also got the option whether you want they have allowed marketing. You can then tick the box, and then the system will then only send the emails out if they've allowed marketing. If not, it won't send them out. The addresses, you've got several options in here. You've got delivery, billing and other, so you can select which ones you need for your delivery addresses, your invoice or addresses you want the invoices and everything to be sent to, then use the billing address. So you've got the information in here, and then any other notes and instructions you need. Say if they've got a specific information that needs to go to a specific address, you can put that information in here. You've also got the company's link, so if this person contacted is linked to a company, you can link that in here. It's very quick and easy, so you can just start typing. The system automatically gives you the options. So if you want to do Showbiz software, we can then link Guy Atherton to Showbiz software as well. You've got the option to set which company, which one is a primary contact. But if you don't want that one to be linked anymore, you just remove it. The system then gives you a warning saying that's are you sure you want to remove it? You can say yes, and then that gets removed. On the right hand side, you've got the roles. You can set these up within the utilities, and so you can add all these different ones that all the roles you need. So judges, stewards, everything like that. They're all within the system. You can set these up exactly as you need them. Same categories. So you've got the different subcategories that you need. So for a car dealer, you've got classic and new car dealers as well. And you've also got the option to have either multiple tick boxes or just singular tick boxes. So these ones will just have one tick box. You can't then select more than one. So you've got the option to do either or in the system. It's entirely up to you. You've also got the links. So this is where you can link to another contact record, say for parent-child records or partners, husband and wife. You can create those in here. So if you want to find someone, you start typing and then you press search. So you can select Anne Wilson, and then she is the spouse for Guy. You can save that, and now we know that Anne Wilson is related to Guy Atherton. And then because these contacts are linked, they can then purchase for the other person within the shop. So if they want to go through and purchase memberships, they can within the shop because they are linked. So they can then select their Anne Wilson's details, and then the system will then process the membership or whatever you need for that person. You then have the tags. The tags will then allow you to either free type your new tag, or it will also give you suggestions for ones that have been already set up within the system. So it's entirely up to you. You can either quickly type them or you can put them into the utilities, so they're all set up so people can have a look and see which ones they need to use. So that's the contacts main screen. You've also got the other options of basket, the orders, invoices, accounts, memberships and bank accounts. But we'll go into more details for that on the later webinar. So if we go back to the manager screen, we can then have a look, and I can show you the rows. This is where you get the option to create the view that you see here. So if you want to see all the contacts, you just select that one. If not, say something if you want to select all the people that you haven't had any communication with for the last 90 days. You select that one, the system goes through the interaction log, finds anyone who hasn't had any contacts within the last 90 days, and then brings them back. You can then have the option, if you want to contact them, saying just keeping them, your company in their minds. You can then send them an email, a message or a letter. The system is entirely flexible that you can do whatever you need it to do. You've also got the option to select your columns, so which all the different columns here. You can select them. So if you can select one, this one has also shows you the date that the system or the contact was added into the system, and then the date that it was edited as well. So you've got a few more bits and pieces, last communication date. So you can also use this if you want to, so you can see when they were last communicated with, and you can select a certain date range if you want to. You've also got the different pages, so we've got 46 contacts over 2 pages. But if you want to select all, the system selects all of the contacts that you for both pages, or however many pages there are, so you don't have to tick one page, send emails, tick the next page, send the emails. The system selects them all for you. The company's manager is very similar to the contacts manager, so we can just jump across here and we can have a look at the companies tab. So if you have a look at the manager screen is exactly the same as the other ones. You can select the different options that you want. Any suspects, they've got a tag, you can then find them in the system. So you can have a look and find that. You can also then have a look at the contact or the company. There's less information in here. You've got the link to the contacts. You've got the addresses, communications and profiles and tags. What you've also got in here is the company interactions. This is if anything's happened to been emailed to the company, but also it gives the information regarding the contact. So we sent an email to, I think it's Ian earlier. So you can then see that the test email has been sent. and that goes to the contact and the company, so you can see the full history of the interaction between the company and the contact link to that company. What we can do, we can go to the utilities, and I can show you how to set up all the tags and communication types and all that sort of stuff. So in the utilities, you can go to the manage titles. This is where you can set up any additional titles you need. The system will already have all of these ones set up for you, and you can select the name and then the salutation. So that's what the system will use when you use the salutation tag. So it automatically update the salutation correct address for that person. So if it's a Duchess, it also says Dear Duchess, and all the different types of contact types, you can see that they're already automatically updated. You can add more in if you need to as well. You've then got the global tags. This is where I've said you can set them up. You see the free type or preset them up. So these are the ones that have been set up. You can create some. So it's just a free type box. You can just type that in, save it, and that adds it into the system. You've then got the archive reasons. So you can create them, manage them in here. So you can set up as many or as few as you want. The same with your categories. The categories have your different categories, and then you have your subcategories. So you can set up these with all the different radio buttons or the multiple select buttons. You've also got the option to change them. So if you want to move them up, you can select it, move it above the combined dealer, and it will change it on the system. You can then also change, if they're not being used, you can update the details on the right hand side. However, if they've already been getting used, you can't then change them. So the system locks it down to prevent any data corruption. It keeps all the information. So if there's something you wanted to change, you might just need to add them in again, create a new category and subcategories, so then it prevents any issues with your data. We can then go through and set up your roles. So you can set these up exactly as you need them. So if you want to add a sheep steward, you can then just type in sheep steward. Just tap that into there. You can select the modules that they will be available in, or if you do no module, you can see it everywhere. And then you can select which top level that it belongs to. So we can say this is steward. So you can then see that your sheep steward is linked to the role of the steward, so it's a sub role. So it's very quick and simple to add your different roles in that you need. And then you can also manage your relationship types. So within here, you can set up all your different types. So you've got your parent, friend, spouse, partner and child. So everything you need can be set up in here, whatever you need for your shows. You can also import contacts. So you can either, it needs to be a CSV file. We'll send you out the required file. So you can fill that out and then you can import them into the system. It's very quick and simple to do. You can see one that I've already imported in. There's one row and it's 100% complete. The system will tell you what's gone wrong. So if anything doesn't import for a reason, it then makes you aware, so you can then go back and correct it and then import that contact in again, and then it gets into the system very quickly. But we will send you out the spreadsheets so you can then return them back and we can then import them into your system for you. We can then have a look at the companies setup. So we can import companies exactly the same as the contacts one. We'll send you the spreadsheet for that so you can create all your companies in the system. And then you got your manage archive reasons. So you can have different archive reasons for your companies and contacts. It's entirely up to you, whichever you want it to be. So you can have as many or as few as you need for your companies. So that's the overview of your companies and contacts. We'll just change the screen back to the PowerPoint. So you should now be seeing the PowerPoint. So what's coming up, we've got the scheduled webinar next week. What we will say is we'll send you out your company's contacts spreadsheets. We'll send them out to yourselves. If you can then return them back with all your details in, all the information for you need imported into Showbiz 5, we will then get that imported into your different systems. If you've got any issues with your system, or if you need any more help, you've all got your Sandbox logins, and you've also got your main contact logins, your main site logins. Please play with the Sandbox, get yourself used to it, and then you can use your live site. We want you to get up and running as quickly as you need to be. So give us a call, we can help you set anything up. We don't want to get stuck anywhere. If you do feel you're stuck, just give us a call. We're more than happy to go through anything to help you out. So please contact us if you need any help with anything. So has anybody got any questions? I'm not seeing anything come through yet, but we can answer anything if you've got any questions. Oh, there is on the companies manager. Let me just change the screen back. Go back to the main screen. On the main screen, you can see within the contacts manager, if we go back to all contacts, on the address there is a copy to clipboard. You can then copy that, and you can then go to anywhere you need. You can then paste the address into the system, into whatever you need, so it's Word or anything. So it's a quick and easy way to find your take the addresses out of the system and use them elsewhere. So it's really quick and simple. So yes, I don't think there are any other questions. Let me just flick back to the PowerPoint. So back on the PowerPoint. So thank you ever so much for your time attending the webinar. If you do have any questions, or if you need any more help with your site, please just give us a call, drop us an email. We can get you set up and running and get the system helping you to make it a lot easier to run your shows. And if we don't see you before or talk to you before, we'll see you next week for the scheduled webinar. Thank you ever so much for your time again. I really appreciate it. Thanks again. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye.